How strange this thing is, human nature. We never half value a thing or person until they are either lost to us forever by death, estrangement, or disaster, or we feel that they're threatened with the loss. Then, but not till then, do we realize the enormous strength of the fibrils of love and friendship have wound about our hearts. And this is true even though the object is known to be unworthy. Mothers are notoriously most fond of such of their children as are blemished mentally or physically by nature. If we but slightly love an object or individual, that love will quickly double its volume and intensify itself if but someone makes war upon it. Many a man will curse his horse, country, or wife, and keep doing it year in and year out, quite as a matter of course. But just let someone else do the same thing in his presence, and he's ready to fight on an instant. When the writer of these pages had crossed the desert and reached Jerusalem, he had not seen an American in 10 months, and when, in honor of his arrival in the city of Jesus, Mr. Alcott, the American consul, commanded his kavass to throw the stars and stripes to the breeze, and their glorious folds waved upon the wind in the summit of Zion's holy mount, there rang through his soul a stream of fiery love for that banner and that land it represented, that all earth's water could never quench. Like all others, he had underrated America. Now, after 90,000 miles of travel, he had learned to love her, for she is the best land God's sun ever shone upon if one's skin is fair. As times go, theories which thousands cherish pass like clouds that sweep the sky. Creeds and dogmas all shall perish. Truth herself can never die. Thought more, the Sphinx, the disenthrallment, the Duke, good Palmer, is thy tale so wondrous and strange? Palmer, else had I not sought auditor so wise, 'tis the best legend ever yet was heard, unless I mar it sadly in the telling. Something very unusual has taken place within a little while. What it is can scarcely be told, can only dimly be understood, and still more vaguely conveyed to others. This change, this mysterious something, pertains not to body, but to soul, to the inner person. And while the flesh form is apparently as ever, the strange inhabitant thereof is conscious that it was not of yore, nay, has passed, as it were, within these few latter days, into a new mood or phase of its wonderful being. But a little while ago, the world, this stony world, was far dearer and more highly prized than it is today. And this for the reason that not now, as then, does the airy dweller of the body house look out upon it as of yore, no longer glances over its mountains, vales, and salt seas from the windows near the ground. It grew suddenly tired of that weight and gloom and lead-heavy air so light distorting, which circulates just above the surface, just high enough to be breathed by those who move along the by-lanes of Vanity Fair. And the soul took a key from its girdle, therewith unlocked the door which alone had prevented its ascension to the upper story of the temple. It saw the steps leading towards the dome, and they were broad, inviting, well carpeted and lighted. Up the steps it went, and presently reached a lofty apartment, within which there fell a flood of glorious effulgence. This light was clear, and pure, and purely white, and it streamed up into the apartment, this upper chamber of the soul, though a glorious arched window towards which it drew near, and lo, all the world looked different, as did the stars that hung out upon the night, and the beautiful pale moon, and God's rockets, the meteors, so beautiful. There was an occupant of that chamber, one who had been slumbering on the couch therein for many, many years. But the grating of the door upon its rusted hinges and rattle of the keys disturbed and woke the sleeper. The being was a female, so very beautiful that I loved her from the first, for she was very beautiful, and then came to me, threw her fair white arms around my neck, kissed my forehead tenderly, told me that she had slept too long, pent up in that chamber all alone. And I loved her dearly because she was so very pure, so virginal, so fresh and innocent, and withal so very beautiful. I asked her name. "It is Devotion," she replied. Then folding me to her bosom, her tender, loving bosom, she gently drew me nearer to the window, pointed down toward the ground, and said, "The air is thick and dank and dark and dense and very murky. It is difficult to catch a glimpse of the bright orb of the heavens, or to feel his genial ray down here. But here, up here, the atmosphere is pure, and if you look well and steadily through that pane, you will see the Spirit of God as he moves across the mighty deep." And I looked. A great glory was that moment marching across the whole bright sky, a mystic but a nameless glory, and that night was very grand. The emotions it woke were very soft and tender, so that tears welled up in the sight from the heart of devotion and suffused her beautiful features. Oh, magic tears! One pearly drop fell on me, and lo, the icebergs of my soul were melted, and I wept, and the waters as they flowed swept away many an obstacle that had thereunto impeded and obstructed my vision. And soon I was able to see the Spirit in everything that he had made. Seeing which, the beautiful maiden gently chided me for so long delaying the coming up the stairs and entering of that wondrous upper chamber, whose windows look out upon the world below and towards God above. And she told me how happy I might have been in the years agone, had not the lower strata of the atmosphere hurt my vision, and if I had unlocked the great doors sooner. I asked the lovely one to reveal the methods by which, when I descended again, the recollection of the present golden hour might never be effaced. Sweetly